right, welcome back to live and continuous coverage here from the National Stadium, and we're here for the J3 qualification series. And we are here now for competition from our senior athletes. Earlier we had the juniors. In the morning session we had the girls, and in the early afternoon session we had the boys, and now we are on to the seniors. We had a completion of the 800 meters. We are now at the 400 meters for women.
And in lane 2, Trishana Harris from MVP. Lane 3, Roshana Chambers unattached. Lane 4, Safia Thompson, Legacy Athletic. In lane 6, Antoinette Sinclair, GC Foster. And in lane 7, Alia Francis, also unattached. But there are only 4 athletes out there. Lane 2, lane 3, lane, I think that's 6, and lane 7. And that one is off. And in lane 4, Safia Thompson of Legacy Athletic seems to be ahead of the pack, but way outside is Alia Francis unattached. She's by herself ahead of the clock. She has 200 meters left to go. Roger, she's running as if she's energized. Here she comes around the final bend. There is a battle for second, third, and fourth, but Alia Francis from lane 7 unattached, 18 years of age, burning up the track. She has this one very comfortably. And in second seems to be Safia Thompson of Legacy Athletics. But 18-year-old Alia Francis, 55.03 is her flash time, as Shoshana Harris from MVP moves into second, and third will go to Safia Thompson.
Yes, she won that one all, you'd say, by a city block. She literally tore it apart on the back straight, and she was running all alone out there in the outer lane. And by herself, she would have been competing against the clock at that stage, because no one was really there to challenge her. And she pulled away with each and every stride, winning by a city block in that event. Alia Francis. So here we are at the replay. And there she was out there all alone. The others in the picture wasn't even attempting to try and close the gap on her. And there she's all alone, out there in lane 7, pumping along, pushing, obviously to some coaching instructions. There she's alone, up to the 100 meters mark, no one else in sight. And here she is into the straightaway now. Coming home, her arms dropped. That was the result of tiring, but she held on in the end to cross the line way out in front of the remaining pack. That was section 1 of the women's 400 meters for women. And the second section coming up, we have the likes of Strabani Nanda of MVP, Jura Leary of Athletics, Legacy Athletics, Elaine Thompson Hira of MVP, the Olympic sprint double champion, makes her outdoor debut today here at the National Stadium, the J3 qualification series. Kadisha Dallas of MVP is there. Mike Harriet of GC Foster College, and Kefia Bailey also of GC Foster College. Right now we are seeing 4 athletes. There should have been 6. So there's an athlete there from lane 2, which is Strabani Nanda. And in 4, there is Elaine Thompson, the Olympic sprint double champion. Beside her is Kadisha Dallas of MVP, and Mickey Harriet of GC Foster. Those are the competitors for this second heat of the women's 400 meters. So the Olympic sprint double champion making her season outdoor debut here today. On their marks, in the set position, and away they go. Nanda of MVP left back as Dallas of MVP now strikes the early advantage. Elaine Thompson here holding her own at the moment as Dallas opens up a few meters. On the inside, it's Nanda of MVP as well. And Nanda appears to have the lead based on the stagger going around that curve. Elaine Thompson here, a left back. But will she hit a new stride at the top of the curve? Coming into the straight is Nanda of MVP. Into the straight, here a left back. And beside her, it's Dallas. So it is Strabani Nanda of MVP. It's now a tussle between Elaine Thompson Hira and Kadisha Dallas, the three MVP athletes. But Nanda crosses the line. Elaine Thompson holds off Kadisha Dallas for second. And third going there to Harriet of GC Foster College. So that was a good warm-up run for the Olympic sprint double champion. And Nanda no doubt winning that event. But that was a nice outing, one would say, for her endurance part of her race for Elaine Thompson Hira.
56.25 for Elaine Thompson Hira, but Nanda Roger 54.91, her winning time, but 54.51. A lovely run for her indeed. But we move to the final section of the women's 400-meter dash, and that would see, well, we have a full field here, but only seeing 4 females on the track. So we have lane 1, Vanessa Crooks from Swept. We have Rhonda White from Sprint Tech. We have in lane 4, Renisha McGregor from UE Mona. Then we move to lane 5, Christine Day, Cameron Blazers. Beside her is Rochelle Clayton from Swept. And outside in lane 8, it's Candice McLeod from UE Mona.
We would have seen in lane 7, but it's empty. It would have been the Bahamian Antonique Strawn. She was listed for the event, but she's not there.
Lane 3 also empty, Roger. That would have seen Tovia Jenkins.
Yes. So Christine Day, World Championship relay medalist. Rochelle Clayton. Candice McLeod.
They are set to their starting positions. A lot of senior athletes around the track. 6 athletes out for this event, and they are off. We look for Christine Day and Rochelle Clayton. We go around the first curve, but it's Renisha McGregor who was caught up on Christine Day already from UE Mona. She makes the move again, trying to get past Rochelle Clayton also. So from UE Mona, Renisha McGregor. On the outside also from UE Mona is Candice McLeod. But from the inside, lane 4, Renisha McGregor. She comes around with about 150 meters to go into the final stretch. UE Mona has this race for first and second. Christine Day looks to make a push for the final 100 meters. But on the inside now, coming in from Sprint Tech is Rhonda White from lane 2, who will take this one from nowhere to become a winner. Rhonda White takes first, second, Candice McLeod, and third from UE Mona, Renisha McGregor. 51.81, Roger.
So Rhonda White left the best for last, and she was literally out of the race, but began her move around the curve at the top, coming into the straight, 51.81. She drew alongside the field at about the 100 meters mark and continue with that momentum, passing the field. Ronesha McGregor of UE Mona at one stage appears to have had the race wrapped up. Christine Day, the Olympic and World Championship medalist, not a solid outing for her today, as McGregor at this stage was looking quite good. And there was no Rhonda White yet in the picture, but here she comes now at the top of the straight, still a couple meters behind the pack, but then she began to kick, and she caught up the field and pulled away in the end, showing everyone a clean pair of heels, winning by over 8 meters. Rhonda White of Sprintech. So that was a completion of the women's 400 meters. We'll be having 5 sections of the men's event to come. And earlier as well, just a short while ago, many of you would have seen the outdoor debut, seasonal debut for the Olympic sprint double champion, Elaine Thompson, who was a finalist in the Athlete of the Year awards ceremony last year, having the fastest 100 meters time for women throughout the course of the year in a season affected by the coronavirus pandemic. She no doubt would have been the #1 female sprinter in the world in a season that was truly affected by that pandemic. Still affected by the pandemic this season. One of the reasons why we had a delayed start to our track season here in Jamaica. Only 3 weeks ago the green light was given. And here we are in 3rd week of action. The seniors making a return today, having competed on the first day, missing out on the second day, and coming back for the 3rd day of the J3 qualification series.
Well, you mentioned we got the go-ahead 3 weeks ago. We must say that the J3s have taken full advantage of that green light, Roger. This is the 3rd week when we'd have had about 15 meets in the 3 weeks
or more. I mean, in terms of, yes, maybe
the numbers
around
the country.
Yes, yeah, because today we are should be having 8. Last week we had 5,
and the first week we had
7.
First week
we had 7.
More than 15.
Yeah, more than 15, right? Yeah, or 20.
Well, and you also mentioned the good news earlier that the ministry has given the Jamaica Football Federation the go-ahead for the national team to train.
Yes, and that training will take place at one location at the Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence up there at the UA Mona.
This one authorized now.
So this is the start of the men's 400 meters, section 1. Of course, the national record is 43.93, held by Roisin MacDonald. World record 43.03. And the athletes for this race are Garth Abbott, and then we have a lane 5 athlete in Talion Wisdom of GC Foster College. Then there is Deshane Green he's running unattached, as well as Kevin Green. He's also unattached. So this is a race. No real known familiar names here competing. So we'll just watch and see the time. I would figure these athletes are those athletes at the collegiate stage who are making their presence felt in terms of competing. So we have Abbott.
This is we have a different. You have something different from me. This is section 2, right? This is section 2, right, Roger?
No, this should be the first section of the men's 400 meters.
Oh, the first. I'm
Yes.
sorry, because I saw Safa Powell's name here, and I thought I was looking on the track for him. So the first section with Garth Abbott, who is unattached in lane 2. Sadiki Marsh from lane 3 from Exed. Lane 4, Zidane Christie unattached. Lane 5, Taj Leon Wisdom from GC Foster. Kevin Green is in lane 6, unattached. Dashawn Green is in lane 7, unattached. And Andrea Banfield in lane 8, also unattached. Roger lane 2, Garth Abbott, 31 years of age.
Yes, why not? But there are some missing lanes. There's a missing lane. There's a missing athlete in 3, 4, and
And 1. Well, 1 is empty.
1 has been
3 is empty, and 4
Yeah.
is empty.
And
Oh,
8.
8 is empty also. So
Mhm.
Andrea Banfield unattached, not in this one. So we have 7, 6, 5, and 2. Let's see what the 31-year-old can do. They're set on their marks. Await the starter yet again. And we are off. Clean start indeed. The man from GC Foster, Taj Leon Wisdom from lane 5. He starts well. He burns around the first curve. Here he is running across the bleachers now. On the far stretch, he is continuing to make up ground as he tries to catch the man in lane 7, Deshaun Green. But the man from GC Foster, Taj Leon Wisdom, he reaches to the 200-meter mark. He has himself firmly in first position, but challenged by Deshaun Green as we come around into about 120 meters. Here is the man wearing the brown of GC Foster, but outside in lane 7, Deshaun Green is challenging him well. This one will go down to the finish line as Green edges in front from Wisdom. Green will take it, should take it, and he does. 50.36 is the flash time. The man Deshaun Green, and in second from GC Foster, Tajli and Wisdom.
All right, so good little afternoon stretch there for the man from running unattached, Deshaun Green. 50.34. Wisdom 50.63. Green 50.65. All right, so welcome back here. Section 2 of the men's 400 meters. And in this event, we have the former world 100 meters record holder, Safa Paul, making his official debut today, seasonal debut that is. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, there was an experience here at the National Stadium where the 60 meters was not run. He was scheduled to run. They had a couple of faulty starts. And the final faulty start, he decided to call it a day and didn't compete. But he's here today for the 400 meters. So we have Tucker, Golson, Powell, Campbell, Gardner, Black. And there they go. Safa Paul starts off very well, but already the 400 meters runners, including Tucker from GC Foster College, now takes the lead. And Safa Paul now just going on an afternoon stroll. Let's see if he'll try to kick in the last couple of meters or so. But on the outside, it is Robin Black, or rather Martin Gardner. And in the middle of the pack now is Golson of GC Foster College now, who strikes to the lead. Robin Black in second place. Here comes Asafa Paul now, showing some high knee lifts. And he will no doubt have a good afternoon outing as well. 48.65 the flash time here for Golson from GC Foster College. 48.63. Marvin Black 49.74. And Asafa Powell showing good high knee lifts to sprint his way down for third place in 50.32 seconds. The outdoor outing there of Asafa Powell for 2021.
Asafa Powell 50.32. Roger, I thought he shut down at about about 300 meters. Then somehow he took a light jog and then powered it through with about 130 meters to go.
Yes, he literally held all his strength in on the back straight, and the endurance part of the race, that was when he decided to do a sprint. He literally flew around the others in front of him, but there was no catching Goldson today of GC Foster College and Robin Black, who ran unattached.
Well, we move to section 3 of the men's 400 meters. We have a full field on paper, but only 3 athletes on track. So we go to lane 2, Akeem Henry, who is unattached. Then there's Julian Fort in lane 4 for MVP. And in lane 6 is Jordan Sewell of GC Foster. Roger, we had 8 on paper, only 3 coming out, 5 athletes missing. Expected this?
No, not at all. I would suspect that the athletes putting up their hand would, when you'd say, boy, maybe a 1 or a 2 or possibly a 3, but 5, not good. But it is what it is.
So we look to Julian Fort in lane 5 for MVP, but on the inside of him, unattached, is Akeem Henry, and on the outside is the man from GC Foster in Jordan Sewell. They are sent to their blocks, awaiting the starter. And they are off. Julian Ford gets a quick start. So does GC Foster's Jordan Sewell. But Julian Ford comes around the first bend smoothly. As you can see, the high knee lifts of Jordan Sewell of GC Foster as Ford makes up ground, leaving behind the athlete from Akeem Henry. But there goes Julian Ford, Roger. Julian Ford's really showing his class with just around 120 meters to go. He's left the man from GC Foster behind. Julian Ford will cruise to the victory here. GC Foster's Jordan Sewell might have to hold on to second because coming behind him unattached is Akeem Henry. But Julian Ford, with just about 50 meters to go, cruises to a nice time of 48.41. GC Foster's Jordan Sewell takes second, while Akeem Henry takes third. But 48.41, Roger, 48.42 rounded down for Julian Fort.
That's a good run from Julian Fort, suggesting that he is in good shape as a sprinter, a 100-meter sprinter. And at 48 running at this time suggests that he is onto something this year. So let's see how that will pan out. Of course, he would be a contender for the Jamaica team to the Olympics. And traditionally, when the sprinters run 48 at this stage of the season, over 400 meters, it suggests that they are on track in terms of their season is concerned. It's just that when you reach those thicker end of the season as to how they will hold up and peak. But good run there from Julian Fort. And we head over now to section 4 of the men's 400 meters. There's an absent lane 1, which should have been Rodane Arscott. But Devon Baker, a man who would have dominated at the Class 2 level at Champs a couple years ago, still in the thick of things, making a few Jamaican teams as well. And he's out here still running the 400 meters representing MVP. He'll run from lane 2. We have Romario Patterson of Exed in 3. Barrington Mitchell of Racers in 4. Romario Williams of Sprintec in 5. Not the Romario Williams of football fame. Blaine Buckle of UEMONA in 6. Malik James King, man from Calabar, now at Legacy Athletics, an extension of Calabar. one would want to say. And rounding out is Nishon Ebanks of MVP. So all except one are set to compete in this fourth section of the men's 400 meters. One to watch, Devon Baker of MVP, formerly of Jamaica College. And Malik James King, formerly of Calabar, representing Legacy Athletics. So they go to their marks for this fourth section. Set position. And off they go. It's a level break. Good hard running early from Buckle from Yui Mona. And on the inside, it's Williams of Sprintec. So there they go down the back straight. It's a good tussle as we see Devon Baker now trying to get into the thick of things. And it's a bunched up pack for the moment. About a 3-person competition at the moment, and coming into the straight it is Romario Williams of Sprint Tech, but on the outside closing it is Legacy Athletics Malik James King, and opening up yet again it's Romario Williams of Sprint Tech 47.41 ahead of Malik James King, and running into the third spot was Devon Baker of MVP. So Williams 47.42 the official time. Malik James King 47.67. As here we see the replay again. And it was a good hard run from Williams of Sprintec, as with him at the moment was Romario and Barrington Mitchell, but here they come around the top now. At this time, Williams would have seized the advantage as the others tries to chase. Devon Baker out there in lane 2. He was closing, but not rapidly enough. Malik James King tried to make a competition of it. And just as he pulled alongside Williams found another gear and pulled away, winning section 4 of the men's 400 meters.
So we move to the final section, section 5. In lane 1, Kishane Thompson, MVP. In lane 2, Keeno Burrell. For racers, in lane 3, Troy White, GC Foster. In lane 4, Antonio Watson, Petersfield. In lane 5, Demar Murray, GC Foster. In lane 6, Terry Thomas from racers. In lane 7, Delano Williams, MVP. And in lane 8, Paul Henry, Cameron Blazers.
Now this will be a good test for Antonio Watson from Petersfield, World Youth Champion, trying to make it still a junior, and he will no doubt try to make the World Under 20 team. The World Under 20 Championships was postponed from last year, scheduled to be held in Nairobi, Kenya. And no doubt he'll try, but word is also that he would want to try and make the senior team to the Olympics.
Can you make both?
Yes.
Well, we did say that lane 7 would have Delano Williams, but he's a no-show. So lane 7 is empty, also is lane 5. They are set on their marks. They are set on their marks by the starter. Roger Hasfall looking for a good test for Antonio Watson from lane 4. as the athletes await the starter. 4:36 is the time here at the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, and they are off. 6 athletes, they go for it. And the man who Roger picked, he has opted to come out of the race, Roger. He stops just after 100 meters. Well, we turn our attention to the race instead. And on the inside seems to be the man from Racers, Keena Borrell. And in lane 7 is, lane 6 is Terry Thomas from Racers. So both Racers athletes having a good go at it. On the outside is Paul Henry from Cameron Blazers. Coming around in front, though, is Terry Thomas from Racers. And on the inside also from Racers is Keena Borrell. He's now tackled by Troy White of GC Foster College. Can Troy White hold and get past the man from Racers? No, Keena Borrell takes it, 46.93. Roger, you spoke about the man from Petersfield, Antonio Watson, but just after 100 meters, he decided to say no more.
Yes, that was a disappointment there for Antonio Watson today. Not certain if he felt something or what, but he decided to just call it a day today. Of course, I was saying earlier that he would have been trying to make the Honor 20 team, but apparently his only hope is to try to make the Olympic team, because this is the year he becomes 20 years old. And if you're 20 in the year of the Honor 20 championships, you are not allowed to compete. So he'll be 20 in September. So word is out that he is trying to make the Olympic team. So he had a disappointing outing today.
If you wondered how COVID-19 affects the athletes, look at him. He would have missed his last Boys and Girls Championships, Roger, due to the pandemic, and the champs 2019, 2020 unable to be held.
Yes, disappointment there for a number of the athletes. A lot of athletes also would have missed out on scholarship opportunities because of the pandemic. So it affected us in so much ways than many. Because, I mean, there's no pen release for second year as well. This is an event where a lot of Jamaican athletes are spotted by overseas and US colleges and so on. And especially those in their last year would have been very, very disappointed to know that another opportunity for them to showcase their skill and possibly be eyed by a overseas coach, US coach particularly, wouldn't happen. So they'll have to look at other options outside of scholarships if they are to continue their careers. For a lot of them, disappointment for a lot of them. But when one door is closed, they say, many more are open. So
there's a new you, ready to make a real change for 2021, and Peaberry Institute is just the place for you. At PBI, you can study nursing, medical assisting, and even become a home health aide. Short programs, flexible schedules, on-campus labs, superb student support services, caring faculty and staff. Bottom line, we care about you. Come, check us out. Financial aid available to those that qualify.
The GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport produces world-class physical education teachers, coaches, massage therapists, fitness instructors, and recreational professionals. They offer programs which include Master of Science degree, 4-year bachelor's degree, associate degree in coaching, and much more. Visit their office at Angel, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Telephone 876-619-1097-99. GC Foster College, the college of choice.
Water, Jamaica.
All right, welcome back for live and continuous coverage here on StrideVisionTv. It's the J3 qualification series here at Kingston's National Stadium. And we just had the completion of the 400 meters for men. And the overall winner was Kima Burrell of Racers for the 6.93. Troy White of GC Foster College, second for the 6.94. And Romario Williams of Sprint Tech for the 7.42, the top three in the men's 400 meters. For the women, coming up momentarily. For the women, Rhonda White of Sprint Tech. She was the overall winner, 51.82. Candice McLeod of UEMONA was second, 52.61 seconds. And Renisha McGregor, also of UEMONA, she was third overall, 52.71. That was the women's 400 meters. And we are now heading over to the 200 meters. We'll be having two sections. For the women's 200 meters, of course, the national record, 21.64, held by Merlin Ottiset back in 1991. And the world leading time this year is 22.79 seconds. So, we'll see how close our athletes can come to a world time at the moment. The world lead, 22.79. And the athletes that are listed for this first section, the women's 200 meters, is Kristen Laidlaw of MVP, Ashley Williams of GC Foster College, and along with Ramona Burchell of Sprintech, and Amoy Brown of Legacy Athletics. Those are the four athletes who will take to the start of this women's 200 meters, first of two sections. So after rainy conditions earlier, it's now bright and sunny. And no doubt, wonderful conditions for track and field action. Earlier we heard the president of the Jamaica Amateur, or rather the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, Garth Gale, speaking to persons inside the stadium, urging them to follow the respected requirements, including if you are not competing, to exit the stadium. We heard him instructing the high school athletes to exit the stadium if you are not competing. No groups or no gatherings. And so far, there have been complaints. We see protocol officers walking around urging people to keep their masks on. Another requirement for the staging of track and field action. And of course, the J3, they were this week recipients of a $500,000 gift worth of products from Massey Distributors, sanitization products, masks, sanitizers, alcohol, towels, disinfectants, all those products. That was donated to the J3 earlier this week for this, to help in keeping track and field safe. Many people might say that the stadium will be the last place in which one can come and catch corona based on the strict requirements that are necessary for the event to happen. Just to remind you that you're watching live and continuous coverage on StrideVisionTv, coverage of the Jamaica Athletics Association Qualification Series. It's the third day, and the athletes now are almost ready, and it's 2 competitors in this race, and it appears to be Laidlaw of MVP and Ashley Williams of GC Foster College. So only 2 competitors in this event. Three, actually, because we have Kirsten, Williams, and Brown. What's unfortunate for us here is that we are seeing an athlete in lane 2, is it? But we are not having a lane 2 athlete on our list.
She was there just a while ago. She's gone now.
Oh.
She was just in the blocks, Roger, and then she disappeared.
Okay, well, so it's down to 3?
It's 2.
2. So it is Williams and Burchell. So it's a 2-woman race now. And here they come into the straightaway. It's Williams and Burchell. Seesaw battle right now, but Burchell looks to hold the lead and hold the step, and she will cross the line first. Williams of GC Foster College, 23.82 seconds for Ramona Burchell, ahead of Williams of GC Foster College. The women's 200 meters, first of 2 sections. So they're moving quite fast now in terms of, you know, having the events coming thick and fast. Maybe they have a particular time that they have to get out of the stadium, so they're trying to speed up things at the moment.
And that means we go straight into section 2. In lane 1, Genevieve Russell, MVP. In lane 2, Anastasia Leroy from Sprint Tech. In lane 3, Natasha Morrison, MVP. In lane 4, Tiffany James Rose, Cameron Blazers. In lane 5, Sada Williams, MVP. In lane 6, Stephanie Ann McPherson, also of MVP. In lane 7, Sasha Lee Forbes, Sprint Tech. And in lane 8, Ashanti Moore, unattached. We look to see if all 8 athletes present themselves to the starter. So we know for a fact that Genevieve Russell of MVP is there. Lane 2 seems to be vacant. No, lane 2 is also there. Lane 3 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there, 6 is there, 7 is there, and 8 is there. So we have a full field of athletes for this section 2 of event number 5, the women's 200-meter dash. A full field indeed, Roger. All 8 athletes have made their way to the starter.
So we'll have a start of this women's 200 meters. As we said earlier, the men are waiting in the wings.
Again, Russell in 1, Leroy in 2, Morrison in 3, James Rose in 4, Williams in 5, McPherson in 6, Forbes in 7, and Moore in 8. They are in their blocks. In the set position they go. There is a gun, a lovely start, fully clean as you might call it. And they are off, and in lane 4, Tiffany James Rose is there, but we look on the outside to lane 7, Sasha Lee Forbes, but also on the inside is Sada Williams. Sada Williams is cruising to the finish line. On the outside, Ashanti Moore will take second, but Sada Williams, 23.09, the flash time for the athlete from lane 5 from MVPs. Sada Williams, Roger Asphalt.
Yes, Sada Williams literally took charge at the top into the straight. It was close going with the others. Sasha Lee Forbes and Ashanti Moore all swung into the straightaway in good competitive positions, but Sada Williams was all the time showing her dominance in this event, and she held her form, held the step, and won comfortably in the end. The chasing pack of Ashanti Moore, Sasha Lee Forbes, and Anastasia Leroy all had to play second fiddle today. As look at that race now as we see Sada Williams, 23.09. And let's see how she will progress, because that's a name that it doesn't strike a bell. So let's see, because I mean, she would have beaten good competitive athletes here. The Stephen McPherson's, the Sasha Lee Forbes, which is a Jamaican world medalist. Shanti Moore, young up-and-coming junior. Tiffany James Rose, noted 400 meters runner. Anastasia Leroy, Jenny Russell. So let's watch out for Sada Williams from the MVP. Although we know MVP has a reputation of springing up some athletes you have never heard before, or even if you heard them before, there are athletes that are way down the pecking order and bringing them to the fore. So we'll see how that works out. So we'll be having 5 sections on the men's side. Quite a hive of activities taking place over there on the far side, over by the 200 meters start and so on, over by the bleacher side. So we head now to the first section of the men's 200 meters. And of course, in lane 1, based on what we have on our list here, is Johnny Evans of Panthers Track Club, Zidane Christie unattached, Kenyu Gordon of XZ, Matthew Howell of MVP, Davian Israel unattached, Orion Thompson Panthers Track Club, Glenmuir Biggs MVP, and Romal Swell of MVP as well.
It says, Roger, that Zidane Christie is just 15 years of age.
Yeah, youngster running unattached. So the world lead in the 200 meters is 20.49 seconds. And of course, the national record, which is incidentally the world record, held by the one and only Usain St. Leo Bolt, 19.19 seconds. Let's see how that record will hold up for the next couple of years. So the athletes are standing behind their blocks for this first section, 200 meters. And they go to their marks. So Evans, Christie, Gordon, Howell, Israel, Thompson, Biggs, and Sewell. And they're off. It's a Clean break. Getting up very well is the man from lane 6, Orion Thompson. He has the field covered. On the outside is Swell of MVP. And on the middle of the pack now is Kenny and Howell. So into the straight. It's still Thompson. And Thompson is now being challenged from the man on the inside, Johnny Evans. But Thompson now holds another gear and hold on for the win. 22.96. Ramal Swell of MVP appears to have taken the second place, and Johnny Evans taking third as we await the time. 22.96 seconds for Orion Thompson and Evans. Here we are again. It was a bullet start from Thompson, had the field covered as the pack tried to close the gap on him, and there was Johnny Evans on the inside. I had a slight lead for the moment, but there came back Thompson, and by that time he was also being chased by Swell. But Thompson, after losing that lead momentarily, regained the lead in the final 80 meters and held on for the victory.
Roger, interesting is that Zidane Christie, I think, if I'm correct, he came fourth. The 15-year-old Christie not doing badly, Roger, finishing fourth.
It's running against seniors, and
24.10 is his time, Christie.
all right, so we'll head straight to the men's third section.
We head straight into section 2. Omar Tatham, unattached. In lane 2, O'Dane Somerville, MVP. In lane 3, Roger Hamilton, Rogelio Hamilton, XZ. In lane 4, Curtis Henry, unattached. In lane 5, Anthony Carpenter, Legacy Athletics. In lane 6, Jonathan Nibb, in XZ. Lane 7, Nikoi Greenwood, MVP. And lane 8, Shane Pitter from XZ. Lane 1 is present, 2 is present, 3 is present. Looking for the athlete from lane 4. That seems vacant, and we have the 3 athletes from 6, 7, and 8. So we await the start of this one. We go again. Tatham in 1, Somerville in 2, Hamilton in 3, Henry in 4, Carpenter in 5, Nibb in 6, Greenwood in 7, and Pitter in 8. Awaiting the starter. So lane 3 is actually empty. Rochelle Hamilton not present. So that's the only lane that is empty. Everyone else is present for this one. They're on in their set positions and they are off. And already the man from lane 4, Curtis Henry, gets around the bend well. Here he is. From lane 4, Curtis Henry seems to have this one. He's calm, composed, high knee lifts. The arms are pumping. Curtis Henry, Roger Hasfall comes through quite easily. Looks at the clock, 21.51. Actually, Anthony Carpenter from Legacy Athletic, 21.52. Carpenter, Roger, what a race that was from, well, Curtis Henry took second.
Yes.
But Carpenter from lane 1.
Carpenter from the Calabar Juggernaut a couple of years ago, along with Christopher Taylor and Malik James King and the others. And here he is again showing that he's still around. Look at him now, as he had the field covered quite early and came into the straight alone, showing good stepping and good form, and crossed the line comfortably in the end, 21.54, which was the flash time for Anthony Carpenter, former boys champs winner for Calabar. So that was the second section.
Yes, going slow.
All right. So we head on now to the third section of the men's 400 meters. We have OJ Jackson of GC Foster College, Junior Grant also of GC Foster College, Ramon Barneswell of MVP, Mazino Barrett of UE Mona, Michael Bentley, now at Legacy Athletics, and Owen Russell of Racers. So no doubt the one to watch. Michael Bentley. And the athletes are standing behind their blocks now for this third section of the men's 200 meters. And they now go to their marks. It's 6 competitors for this event. And they are on their marks. It's OJ Jackson, GC Foster, Grant, GC Foster, Barneswell of MVP, and off they go. UE Mona's Mazino Bart gets up well, and on the outside it's Legacy's Michael Bentley now who takes charge, and come on into the lead he comes, Michael Bentley. The chasing pack includes Junior Grant of GC Foster College and UE Mona's athlete, but striding away for the win, it's Michael Bentley. Second going to OJ Jackson of GC Foster College, and third also from GC Foster College, Junior Grant. So that was 21.33 seconds, the winning time for Bentley, and Barrett of UE Mona snatching that third spot. So here we are again for the fourth section of the men's 200 meters.
Yeah, so we move on to the penultimate section, section 4. And in lane 1 is Andrew Fisher from Sprint Tech. In lane 2, Andre Dakers, GC Foster. In lane 3, Kishon Thomas from GC Foster. In lane 4, Roger Vassel, Legacy Athletic. Roger Vassel from Titans. In lane 5, Tyreek Wilson, formerly of Calabar, Legacy Athletic. In lane 6, Vaswani Silvera, GC Foster. In lane 7, Alec Cranston, unattached. And in lane 8, Javon Minzy from Titans. Haven't heard that name in a while, Roger.
Yes, Javon Minzy, formerly of Bogwalk High.
A lot of respect for Javon Minzy. Many top schools in the corporate era wanted him, and he said he will stay at his school, Bogwalk. So you have to always respect someone who does that. And did he go on to win the boys championships?
Actually, not. It was the same year. Zanil Hughes. I won Zanil Hughes. They had a
from
wonderful
the mighty
duel.
Kingston College.
They had a wonderful duel in that 100 meters on that Friday evening here. I think that's the record. Also, Minzy also ran below the record in that race, but had to settle for Zanil Hughes, who was that time an MVP athlete representing Kingston College, and won, no doubt. It was a wonderful race. Never forget that evening. The fastest 100 meters race ever in Champs history.
I remember many say, Roger, that it's a bit unfair that outsiders of Jamaica, not Jamaican nationality, can come and get the record at Boys and Girls Championships.
I disagree with that. If you're attending a school in Jamaica and you are competing for that school, you are entitled to the benefits just as any other high school athletes. And no doubt, you remember also, the other fellow, his name slipped me for now, from Monroe. He almost broke Usain Bolt's. Delano Williams. He almost broke Usain Bolt's 200 meters record. Almost. Yes, I think it was off by 100th of a second or something like that. So, and we have seen a number of athletes over the years coming through. I mean, the athlete from Kingston College, the distance runner, Ari Rogers.
in college now, actually, and there is a start. 5 athletes in this one. The middle lane seem to be empty, so we look to Javon Minzy on the outside. Javon Minzy now, he's passed by Crankston, but he finds back his form. Javon Minzy will take this one. He jogs to the finish line, 21.50. He was fought a bit by Crankston, but he turned on the afterburners, 21.48. He holds the left hamstring, but Javon Minzy takes it, Roger.
Yeah, he looks a bit bulky, but he always have that big bone thing about him. 21.48 for Javon Minzy, who no doubt when he left high school, he went to the Racers Track Club training with Usain Bolt, but somehow he has left club and is now with Titans, and here he is now competing. It was a tussle between himself and Cranston, but he held his form, held his shape, and held his step as well on Alik Cranston, who was running unattached and winning comfortably, 21.48 seconds. Minzy also has an interesting story, as he was at that famous Carifta Games in Montego Bay a couple of years ago when he had the 200 meters wrapped up, began to show bolt, and lost the race in Montego Bay to a Trinidadian athlete. His name slips me for now, who has gone on at the world level in the 400 meters. And that was something else in Montego Bay. But he picked himself up and came back and left champs on a high, Javon Minzy. And he went to the Racers Track Club. He was also a part of the Jamaican World Championship team, I think, of 2015. And also picked up a medal with the Jamaican team. Lost his way over the past couple of years and then switched clubs, and now here he is again, Javon Minzy. So let's keep an eye on him.
Would you say that, depending on how you see yourself, that some might cherish a champs medal, a champs gold medal more than a Carifta gold medal?
Champs will always be, for many of the athletes, their hurrah, their Olympics, their world championships. Then you have another few now who will take it to the Carifta level, the regional level, and then the very few who would have now moved on to the international world level. So champs will always be, for the majority of athletes, their Olympics in their lifetime.
What you would say that you might get more competition at the champs level than the Carifta level?
Yeah, in a lot of cases, because Jamaica has been coming out on top in the Carifta Games for the past 30 odd years. So we have Emery Barnes unattached, Nigel Ellis, MVP, Shadiq Hines, Sprintec, Jamoy Jackson of MVP, Nesta Carter, World Championship and Olympic gold medalist.
35-year-old Nesta Carter.
And they're off, and Francis of Racers gets up well on the 6th lane, and here they come into the straight. Francis now holds the step and holds the lead. Beside him is O'Shane Bailey, former national champion, but Miguel Francis is showing good form and composure, and coming in for third place there was Shadiq Hines of Sprintec, but 20.53 the flash time. And do remember, the world lead is 20.49, so no doubt that time will put him in the top 20.50, the official time. So that's the second fastest time in the world this year from Miguel Francis. O'Shane Bailey holding on for second. But Francis literally wrapped the race up quite early, as he had a duel with O'Shane Bailey. But with each and every stride, he pulled away. And Shadiq Hines out there in lane 3 tried to remain competitive. But look at Francis go. And crossing the line, 20.50, the second fastest time in the world this year. The world lead, 20.49. So, at least these J3 qualifiers here in Neo have begun to live up to some reputation in terms of Jamaican athletics, putting on one of the fastest time in the world this year so far.
Yes, indeed. You said the world lead was 20.49, 20.50. That's 100 of a second off of that. And what's even more impressive, Roger, is that Francis seemed to be a bit smooth with the last, 30 meters to go?
Right, he was very comfortable. He took charge at 30 meters or so into the race. He had a slight duel with O'Shane Bailey for a while, but he shrugged him off coming into the straight and kept that distance between himself and Bailey and pulled away in the end, crossing the line, 20.50. So you're watching StrideVisionTv, live and continuous coverage from the National Stadium. We take a break.
There's a new you, ready to make a real change for 2021, and Peaberry Institute is just the place for you. At PBI, you can study nursing, medical assisting, and even become a home health aide. Short programs, flexible schedules, on-campus labs, superb student support services, caring faculty and staff. Bottom line, we care about you. Come, check us out. Financial aid available to those that qualify.
The GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport produces world-class physical education teachers, coaches, massage therapists, fitness instructors, and recreational professionals. They offer programs which include Master of Science degree, 4-year bachelor's degree, associate degree in coaching, and much more. Visit their office at Angel, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Telephone 876-619-1097-99. GC Foster College, the college of choice.
So we are coming with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on full. Oh, we not rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast for the friends we take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we both dead. Only said the road and me go on with the road.
All right, welcome back here for live and continuous coverage of the J3 qualification series here at Kingston's National Stadium. And we just had the completion of the men's 200 meters. And the next event on the track will be the 100 meters. And the men's 200 meters, the official results sees Miguel Francis, the overall winner, 20.51 seconds. And second, O'Shane Bailey, 20.83. The only two runners to dip below the 21-second barrier today. 20.51, the official time accredited here for Miguel Francis of Racers, and O'Shane Bailey Sprintec 20.83. And Nigel Ellis of MVP, rounding out the top three, 21.03 seconds. The women's 200 meters, Seda Williams of MVP coming out on top, 23.08 seconds. Ashanti Moore, who was also in that race, taking second place overall, 23.24. And Sashley Forbes of Sprint Tech, 23.31 seconds. So they will prepare the track now for the 100-meter hurdles. And that will take a time. And it will give us the opportunity to have a chat with our global strategic director, Vanessa Moore. And we are standing by to have a chat with her before we actually resume racing competition here at the National Stadium. So it's a wonderful afternoon here at the National Stadium. Earlier we had showers of blessings, and sometimes these showers of blessings are really necessary to cool things down and to wash away what needs to be washed away, repurge and replenish the earth. So after the 100-meter hurdles, then we move to the 100 meters, which will be the final events here on track at the National Stadium. We are now approaching 20 minutes past 5 o'clock. They should be out of here by 6 o'clock. So let's see how fast they will move from here on in. Miss. Right, so we'll now have a chat with our Global Strategic Director, StrideVisionTv, Miss Vanessa Moore. A very good afternoon to you, madam.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you.
And how are you doing?
Wonderful, thank you. Just
Yeah.
enjoying a little bit of the Jamaican sunshine culture and sports, of course.
And how are you finding it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, this is my home, so this is coming home to me. And of course, I love track and field. So
Yes, well, you're Jamaican, so I don't know why I say
Absolutely.
how you're enjoying it, because you should be enjoying the Jamaican culture
absolutely,
wherever you are in the world, right?
100%. I mean, that's what Stride Vision TV is all about.
Yes, indeed. So talk to us about Stride Vision TV, the
Mm.
background, and our purpose for being here.
Sure. Well, Stride Vision TV has been around for quite some time now, and it was started by Ridley Ingram, who's a renowned photographer. He's covered a number of world games and Olympic games, and he's always had a passion not only for the sport of track and field, but for promoting the culture, the Jamaican culture. So his vision really took stride and led to a global streaming coverage of the sport, allowing fans from everywhere to get a chance to see the finest of track and field from Jamaica.
Right. So, where in the scheme of things
Mhm.
would you say you are fitted into the Stride Vision TV team?
Well, um, here's the thing. Sports is not just for us to enjoy seeing the athletes do their thing, but it's an actual business. And so my background comes from years of entertainment and television where I have connected advertisers, talking about household brands, global brands, to content that is really moving the needle and attracting and engaging consumers. And so how I fit into the picture is that I am bringing those sponsors to our streaming channel and to hopefully the rest of the sport here in Jamaica. I mean, my philosophy is that I want to take everything that I have learned, the skills I've gained over the years, and bring it back to my people so that we can get some value from it.
Okay, so how has Stride Vision dealt with the pandemic that is no doubt created havoc in the world? A lot of uprooting, a lot of misplacement, a lot of bad things happened in the pandemic. How has Stride Vision been dealing with it?
Well, I have to say that our work has been linked very, very closely with the JAAA. And I mean, I am so grateful that we have had the ability to work with everyone from Ian Forbes to Mr. Gale and Coach Riley and Bruce James to really make sure and ensure that we are still able to provide the entertainment that comes from watching track and field to the rest of the world. I mean, even down to ISSA, they have really supported us and we've supported them and we've worked very closely with them. As a matter of fact, we made sure that a number of our team members became COVID protocol marshals here so that we can make sure that we are maintaining their rules and their guidelines as put forth by the Ministry of Health.
Right.
And it's just clear that there's so much passion from that team, from the JAAA team and from the ISSA team, to really make sure that we were able to bring the sport to the fans. I mean, literally, I've seen them stand on their heads to make this happen.
Right, and the fans are so much appreciative of this. No spectators are allowed at the meets and so on. And Stride Vision providing this need is very appreciated by the fans, both here locally and in the diaspora, and of course non-Jamaicans as well, who want to see what is happening
Yes.
where Jamaican track and field athleticism is happening.
Yes, I mean, I will say, the thing that's really brilliant about this is that it allows us not only to bring it to the fans, but also to the coaches that are looking at the upcoming talent and the agents, the people who really want to get out there and get the best of the best. This is where they get it, right here in Jamaica, and Stride Vision TV is the one to provide it.
A critical need because one of the areas in which many of our athletes have lost out over the past year or so is the fact that scholarship opportunities have been displaced. No pen relays,
Yes.
no champs, no nothing. So the athletes in their final years were so unfortunate not to pick up scholarship opportunities. But
Yes.
Stride Vision coming on board now, showcasing that Jamaican athleticism is alive and well. The athletes are coming out. You can
Yes.
still see a number of our final year students. You can still be spotted by our scouts. And of course, you can watch it right here on Stride Vision TV.
Absolutely.
Indeed. So what's next? Talk to us about Stride Vision TV. What's next in the pipeline
Listen,
for us?
we are working on bringing this, not just as a streaming opportunity, but an app which we're launching in the next 2 weeks, which will cover track and field as well as a number of other sports, actually. We're covering this big time. I mean, the way we see it, everybody is really taking everything by mobile, and they're watching everything on their phones.
Hmm.
And we want to make sure that we have track and field at their fingertips.
You mentioned at track and field, of course, we have just resumed track and field action finally. You mentioned app and other sports. You want to just quickly
Yeah,
wrap up where that is concerned for
yeah,
us?
yeah, yeah. I mean, we've got we are covering everything from netball to boxing to football, or as the US people call it, soccer. So, we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to take a look at all sports that's coming out of Jamaica, because it is a part of our culture. Absolutely. It's at the cornerstone of our culture, actually.
And any ideas the next sporting event outside of track and field as yet, or
Well,
still in the?
no, I would really like to start exploring football and see what we can do in the realm of football, bringing not just the male athletes, but also the female athletes. I mean, I
Yes.
know that we bring a lot to the table, and I think that Stride Vision TV has the ability to bring the finest of our athletes, male and female, to the rest of the world.
Any additional thing you want to leave with us before you wrap?
Just that we're very excited for the relationships with that we have with the JAAA and with ISA, and we want to keep this going, and we want to make sure that we're able to support them and to bring the best sponsors that we can bring to the table, and make sure that our athletes are getting seen, and that they're appreciated, and yeah, we're
Uh,
taking this and making it a business.
yeah. And I did say final question, but I want to get in the diaspora. I mean, what you would like to tell the Jamaican diaspora about
Mm.
Stride Vision TV continue the coverage of sports to satisfy their insatiable appetite?
Well, I will say this. I see the appetite amongst my peers who are in the diaspora, right? And they are just so excited by what they see coming out of Jamaica. And I just want them to know that if there is no question whether or not we're able to give them what they need and what they want. So
Mm.
just log on to Stride Vision TV, subscribe on YouTube, on Facebook, check our app out in a couple of weeks. Make sure you download it and follow us, and we will give you what you're looking for.
Final, 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 final.
Final, final.
Yes, Jamaica's champs.
Yes.
Ooh. Is there anything in the making where champs is concerned with Stride Vision TV?
Well, I guess that remains to be seen. I think the most important thing is that
Yes.
everyone has an opportunity to see champs.
Mhm.
Whether you're on the internet, whether you're on your mobile, whether you're at home turning on your TV, we want everyone to be able to enjoy it. So anything that we can do to make sure that we're amplifying the visibility of champs and of track and field, we will do it.
Okay, diaspora, watch out. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Vanessa.
Sure, thank
We
you.
certainly wish you all the best in your endeavors as you go out to make Stride Vision TV the best when it comes to Jamaican sports and culture.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to work with Stride Vision TV.
All right, thank you very much. That's Vanessa Moore, our Global Strategic Director, Stride Vision TV. And there you heard it. Sporting events up in the making. You can download your app and have Stride Vision TV at your fingertips. Pretty exciting times in the making. All right, so we will have the running now of the 110-meter high hurdles for men. Or the, let's see. All right, so they will now have the 100 meters for women to come.